Hey, what's up? It's Tiffany. Before we get started on this week's episode, please be sure to send us your requests at BOOshakalaka@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter X, BOOshakalaka You can also find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Instagram at BOOshakalaka
We sure miss you. This is the BOOshakalaka podcast, and we hope you had a fantastic Halloween and Halloween weekend. I am your host, Tiffany, joined my co-host Pierre.
I have an update. We have an update from Jay. So, and Tiffany did give me this update, by the way. But so we have confirmed that his vagina is now in his armpit. So, if you happen to see Jay in public, make sure you don't bump his armpit because that is where his vagina is low key residing. Yes. Thank you so much for giving me that time to update. What you watching, Tiffany? What you watching on TV?
I still haven't finished Grotesquerie.
You will be pissed.
I'll think about it. I actually started watching House of Villains, which it's a horror show in itself.
And there's no way. I told you I said I'm never gonna watch that. I hate you.
I started with season 2. I skipped season 1 because sometimes like they got to get all the kinks out, and I feel like they might have gotten all the kinks out with season 2. So yeah, I started watching it. I'm caught up. I'm on episode 5 or episode 6, whatever one's coming out next. Let's see. I started watching the American Horror Stories, and I have not been impressed.
Did you see the clone episode yet?
I did. That was gross. Especially the ending. David, blow me, David. Of course, David. Yeah, so I haven't really gotten into anything new besides those. So, I mean, I still watch my usuals like 911, shows like that. They kind of have an ending each episode, but there is like an overarching event that happens. But those I can't really like review or anything. But yeah, so that's the update on me. And unfortunately, I watched Time Cut.
So I watched all 3 seasons of Industry. Don't ask me how. It really is a good show though. It really is a good show. And I finished Grotesquerie. You're gonna be pissed. And
I'm not watching it till they say a season 2 has been greenlit. If they don't say a season 2 has been greenlit, it is officially ending at episode 9 for me.
And I made the mistake of watching Beauty in Black.
Oh, I did watch that. You stupid. You smell like Jim Crow.
Like, he's not even worth it. He's not even worth it. I can say so much. I'm just like, oh.
It's too much dialogue.
Okay. That's the issue. It's like the scenes go on for way too long. I'm like, people would not still be talking after you done said this shit to them. They would walk away or the scene would cut. But he likes to keep it going because he likes to just have them say a bunch of obnoxious shit to each other. Like,
they ask a question and then they say, "Why are you asking me why?" And then they ask it again and they say, "Oh, well, you want to know why?"
That's why I
asked you that.
That's why I stopped watching the Have and Have Nots. It'd be like, "What'd you do with that baby?" I ain't telling you. What'd you do with that baby? I'm like, so it's just gonna keep going.
And the lead character, what was her name again?
Kimmy.
A doormat.
I'm like, there is no situation in where your sister has been kidnapped and you just go, give her back.
But that's my sister.
It's like,
body knew. That's why they took her.
It's almost like it was like I was watching an all-black TV show with a white man writing it. Like, that's how it felt. Because I was like, what black people do you know who act like this? I
don't know any black people that act like that. I'm sure I've met some, but I don't personally know them. But
well, Tiffany, at the end of the day, we ain't nothing but some hoes. So
look, that's what she told her. And this girl's like, I'm trying to be somebody. I'm trying to go somewhere. I'm trying to wake up and pay attention. And you over here just telling me I ain't gonna ever amount to nothing? Girl.
But that's your best friend, though.
Like, just like this movie Time Cut didn't amount to nothing. The synopsis is: a teen in 2024 accidentally time travels to 2003, days before a mass killer murders her sister. Period.
Okay. Are we gonna give a backstory about this? How this is on the cutting room floor since 2021?
I mean, you just started saying it. You might as well continue.
Yeah. So this movie was made before the movie we're gonna review next week. with the same exact premise. It was actually made in 2021, and they just didn't have it come out until 2024 because
I feel like somebody on this set got fired, and they said, "All right, hello, Mr. Amazon Prime, I got an idea for a movie."
Clearly, but and it sucks because I love Madison. Madison.
I've never seen that girl before in my life.
2 N's, 1 Y, but it's not what you think.
What would I know her from?
You wouldn't, because you don't watch Outer Banks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know the other girl.
But that's because you watch Ginny and Georgia. But yeah, their Netflix is 2 resident biracials. But yeah, I swear to God.
Baby, did you realize there were 5 interracial relationships in this show?
It was cringe.
5.
It was cringe because I haven't seen these. I don't see these typically in real life. For example, at your wedding, were you the only Black person there?
No.
Okay. Those are the only ones I see.
Okay. So let's get off of me. I have nothing to do with this. I am, I'm from Mississippi, so of course, I'm a mixture of things. But both my parents Black, so I'm Black. But anywho, we over here at the 2 West party because baby, 3 friends are dead. Val, Brian, and Emmy done got they got a happy face from the killer. So all of the kids are celebrating, their life at the barn. That must have just had a wedding there earlier that day because the bathroom, immaculate. It had a wash towel in it. What was going on? Like, okay. So we see Quinn, he shows up and we see Summer. Summer comes in, she's looking all distraught, and Quinn is like, "Hey girl, I got this letter for you. Sorry your friend's dead, but here, read my letter." And then Ethan comes up and he's like, No. Come on, girl, let's go holler. Let me holler at you for a second.
That reminds you of Linderman. Remember how Linderman tried to run on Lord?
Yep.
Like you don't tell nobody. Dogs that keeps humping your leg. Like,
you don't profess your love for somebody when they're going through something like this. Like, come on. I'm about to call him Linderman the whole movie. Come on, Quinn. But so also, Ethan calls her in, but she ain't interested in Ethan either. Our girl Summer just came. But why is she there? She's like, "Well, I couldn't
sleep." That's what I was about to say. I would have not been there.
She couldn't sleep, but there had to have been
something on TV. I mean, I know MTV was airing Date My Mom. So
Date My Mom, Eliminate might have been on. Late Night with Conan O'Brien. Girl, look, Disney Channel was playing them old ass episodes of Little Mermaid. I swear, every time I used to wake up in the middle of the night, Little Mermaid was.
What? Like
Morgana? Who is Morgana? Girl, I don't know you.
Like, girl, please. We know the lore. Just like I had them episodes of Aladdin, and I was like, "What is this? Like, who asked to see Agrabah?" So
one jump ahead of the crowd.
So she's basically at the party, and not Henry. Well, I was about to call him Henry. Ethan. He gives the 4 West toast, and then she runs off to the bathroom. And I'm sorry, no, he does. I'm sorry, no. So they're talking, and in the middle of them talking, somebody bumps into him, and he spills his whole cup into her shirt. Again, I would have left. Because what are we doing here? Because how you spill your whole it wasn't even a splash.
What was the one where they did it on purpose? She's like, she's all that.
I'm like, what the?
Into my baby.
So yeah, I'm just like, I don't know. I just wasn't understanding how that happened. I just
thought it was weird because when she showed up to the party, a lot of kids were outside of the barn. And then when she leaves to go freshen up in the barn bathroom, it is a ghost town. Like, there are no other kids around. Like, some kids will be outside smoking. Come on now.
This reminded me so much of Scream 6. Just how he went outside to the barn and nobody was out there, even though people were outside the house.
Scream 5.
Oh, that was it. Damn. Oh yeah, because 7's the next one. Yeah, see, that's why they should have named it Scream 5 instead of Scream. So yeah, so she goes
exactly, and there had to have been a wedding. I don't care.
She's doing her makeup. I thought she went to the dry herself off. I didn't, but okay. She's doing her makeup, and here comes she in the looking in the mirror. She see the killer come. So she's a quick dodgy girl, but then she loses all inhibition. She runs from the killer. She's trying to knock stuff over. I'm like, you're not even knocking things over that would like block his way. I just wasn't understanding what she was doing. But she's trying to survive, I guess. This is what pissed me off, because she goes to the gate that we've seen multiple people walk in and out of, but when she get there, it's locked. And she like, okay, so at this moment while she's getting chased, the police actually arrive and they're breaking up the party. So people are actually leaving and the police are there. And it's like all this was happening and she didn't scream until the very end, like, help, help. And I'm like, you haven't been screaming the whole time. Like, you didn't scream in the bathroom. You didn't scream when you were running from him. You didn't scream. Like, where is this?
And she could have climbed that fence.
There was no will to survive. And then because they had everybody wearing these platform shoes. We'll get on that later with the 2003 clothing. But
yeah,
all she had to, like, she didn't even have to do the Charlie's Angels. She could have literally just one leg.
My bitch up.
One leg over him, like.
But wait till a little bit later. I'm gonna come back to that barn door. But she doesn't make it because the killer comes out with a damn, is it a scythe?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, she goes back into another side of the barn. Was it this like the garage? And she goes and hides on some hay. The killer finds her. I don't know how he found her. And then she runs back outside where he slashes her with the scythe. Title card.
We don't even see him slash her.
Title card.
Cheap. Netflix, y'all got money. Y'all spent $50 million on that Mark Wahlberg and Halle Berry movie. Y'all could have gave a little bit of that coin to this one.
It was TV-14. It wasn't even a real horror movie.
No. Well,
that's why they weren't really cursing in it.
I don't like off-screen deaths. But anywho, it's 20 years later. We see Lucy Field. The first girl's name was Summerfield. We see Lucy Field, and she just feels so invisible. Nobody gets her, but NASA does, because she got a summer internship with NASA. So she makes it up to the school. She tells her teacher, Mr. Fleming, he's so excited for her. But since Summer's dead, don't nobody else give a shit. They're like, whatever,
It was. I didn't like this.
You could cure cancer, Lucy, and we will. So Summer did. Summer still did.
I didn't like this, and I don't like this trope. I don't like. Because, okay, I get that your daughter died, but she died 20 years ago, and you just lost will to do everything. Why did you have, we understand
20 years ago. So she died 20 years ago. How old is Lucy supposed to be? 17, same age?
16, 17, right?
17? Okay, so they had her 4 years after Summer died.
Yeah.
You're right. It's been 20 years. They wouldn't. I just don't feel like they would be acting like that anymore.
Yeah, the mom don't cook no more. It's just because I used to cook with Summer, so I don't cook no more. So they just eat out now. And
I guess the dad cooked.
And she doesn't want to tell her parents about the internship. And then when she does tell them, it's like they're like, "Oh, what? That's far away. You got to go to DC. What? We'll talk about it." Like, it's just. And then also she didn't want to tell them because it's the anniversary of the deaths that happened. She overhears people at school talking about it. So, she get curious. She go into Summer's room and she go into Summer's room. That's, of course, how it is in movies. They kept it the exact same.
Now, because she died at that age, I could see them leaving that room like that. But
of course,
I'm not kids are like, I left my room, and my mom just left it the way it is. I just moved out. I just went to college and my mom left it the way it was. Then mom just like,
oh. Yeah, like Ray Finkel's mom. And so the
laces were in, baby.
They were in. So she go in there and she start playing. What fucking song was on? Oh, that's what I wanted to. Can I rewind real quick?
Yeah.
Please let me rewind. Please let me rewind.
Reverse.
That's what pissed me off. The movie starts off and y'all listening to Westlove in a barn with a bunch of white people. That wouldn't have happened. I can guarantee you, I can go interview 100 white people right now. They will not know who Ashanti is.
I think they would. Ashanti was
there are white. I've met white people in Texas in this year who do not know who Angela Bassett is. They do not know who Ashanti is. They're not listening to know What's Love. They were listening.
I mean, it was Fat Joe's song.
They know who that is? Come on now.
Oh, that was before Lean Back. I don't know, cuz.
Stop saying that. They trying to make hip. But what song was playing? What song was playing when she was in the room?
love.
No, not that one. In the room when like she
making my way downtown.
Okay, thank you.
Fast, faces passing, I'm homebound.
So, and then she finds a note under her sister's floorboards. It's like a threatening note from E. It's like, yo, you're gonna regret this. And so she just takes the note. And her mom's like, okay, we got to go to the memorial because they got to go pay their respects to the kids that died.
Actually, we got to go to the OG first, the Olive Garden. Justice for Dolores. Baby, justice for Dolores and justice for her eyesight. Because Dolores come up there and look Lucy dead in her face and say, you look just like her. And I'm looking like who? She
looks
who?
like a light-skinned black girl.
She don't look like no damn Summer. These girls could not look as different as me and you.
Yeah. It would have been better maybe
when you see how much bigger Lucy is than Summer.
Exactly.
I was like, what the hell is this?
Maybe and it's so funny because in Outer Banks she looks like she's the tiny one. But she's around all
everybody
boys.
else is tall.
Yeah. But it's just like so that's why I didn't realize how tall she was. But maybe if they put Zendaya in this, they would have looked.
She don't look like them either.
I don't know. I just feel like, but then you know what I mean? They black, so they all look alike.
I just wish they wouldn't have said that.
Again, I can always tell who writes the script. I can always tell who writes the script and who the casting director was because I'm like,
these are movies that can be written for any race, and they just go with the flow.
Yeah,
they hire the lead actress and then they hire everybody else.
And to be fair, because it's Netflix, these two actresses are already on payroll, so I feel like they just pulled. You know what I mean? I feel like they was like, oh. You clearly ain't filming Ginny and Georgia because it ain't out yet, so come over here. And you're filming Outer Banks is off season, so come over here. I feel like it's just easier, honestly. It just felt very cheap because even the guy is in a lot of stuff from Netflix and Hulu. So I just was like Quinn.
The guy Quinn, what was he in?
He was in
I Know What You Did Last Summer.
He was in Summer, the Cruel Summer. He was in that, and he was he was in Lock and Key. Did you see Lock and Key? Okay, he was in that too, and yeah, so he's in a lot of.
What was the show? Cruel Summer, that might be the show where they go back in time, back and forth, back in time.
No, well, yes. Oh, not I thought you meant time travel, but yes, they go back and forth, and they're like, it was 2000 good.
Yes.
It was. He was in that
and
show.
then in the second season, the black girl was there.
Yes.
That show. Okay, yes, I remember.
He was in that.
And that's why I suspected his ass as soon as I saw him too.
And they be trying to make him out to be this heartthrob. I'm like,
Sure did.
Yeah.
But her dad tells her, Lucy, you got an internship with NASA, baby. You can go get an internship down the street. I work over at Sonar. You know, we do.
Which I've never heard of.
Too. It's adjacent to. We work with NASA. We got contractors that came from NASA to Sonar.
That's why it's weird because it's like they don't care about her, but then they want to. It's like they're overprotective of her. It's very weird. It's a weird dynamic.
They just want to control her. I think that's all it is. They want to control her. But they head over to the barn to pay respect. You know, they got a little shrine out front. They put down their roses and their rosary. And Lucy sees like this light. I don't know how she sees a light flash in that bright ass daylight. But she sees it flashing in the barn. And she walks over there and she sees it's a hot tub time machine. So she sees a time machine. Well, she sees something going on. She doesn't know exactly what it is. It has the date on it. It says August 16th, 2003. And before she can even realize what's going on, she is zapped into the past. I did appreciate she really didn't have no time to figure out what was going on. Like that was cool. I was fine with that. Now I can see if she was actually tinkering with it and read the manual and it was like time travel and then like, why am I here? But that didn't happen like that. Anyway, so she gets back and the barn is not clean no more. They ain't had a wedding no more. It's dirty, it's disgusting. She comes out, the door's all raggedy and she heads over to that gate.
And opens it.
No. At the bottom of the gate, there was an opening this big. And I know each of these girls can weigh more than 115 pounds. She could have rolled under that bitch. She probably could have crawled under there. Netflix, do better.
That was some bullshit. I was like, so now the gate worked? So did y'all fix the gate after the murder?
And one thing that I realized, the Sonar bottle that had the lights on it it was lit all up when she left. Okay. So anyway, so she's now back in 2003.
She walks around town. The town is not a ghost town. It looks hyper beautiful. It's really vibrant.
Desolate before.
Yeah, it was very
desolate.
But it's very vibrant. Like there are like bright colors everywhere. I was like, 2003 was not this pastel. But I mean, even though like the flowers, everything was just so bright. She go, just walking around, looking around. She sees that it's 2020. I mean, 2000. Look, I was about to say 2023, 2003, and she's just like, what? So her first initial instinct is to go talk to her teacher, who she knows is still alive because he mentioned that he taught her sister. And she goes into the school. I guess they don't have security in school.
No, it's 2003.
Okay, so she run into school, and everybody just in the hallway.
At least not today, not today.
They had to play the Hillary Duff song to show you that how far back it was.
If it's over, let it go.
I hate you.
I'm trying to do your background. I'm doing your background.
Oh, okay. And she's just like, oh my God. Everyone's wearing the exact same shit that they would wear in my time. Oh my God, are those Uggs?
Oh my God, is that an iPod? And the loser standing beside the girl with the iPod has a CD Walkman. Oh my God, are these freaking losers in Heelys?
Okay, can we please talk about the wardrobe? It's been the main talk on Twitter. Wheelies were worn by children in 2020. We were not wearing that shit in no fucking high school. Those are childish. These are high schoolers. They were really
popular, like 5, 6, 7. I used to work at a youth center, and they used to be skating through that. And
yeah, but like, for kids, you're not in high school wearing wheelies.
Heelys.
I'm sorry, Heelys. It just, and then you definitely wouldn't be, because they wouldn't have allowed them. I feel like they wouldn't have allowed them at school because that would have been like, and then the guy holding a skateboard in the hall. I'm like, first of all,
the velour tracksuits. What was the weather? Because a couple of girls were wearing capris and tanks. Somebody else was wearing Uggs tucked in with jeans tucked in. Then velour tracksuits. Then halter tops. What was the weather, baby?
You forgot about the fact that I'm like in. Come on now, with your stomach out. I hate when I brain fart like that.
Crop top.
Yeah, like they were wearing crop tops too. That's why I was like. And you definitely weren't wearing no hats in high school, and girls would not be wearing hats because you had to work on your hair. Like, I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Where was the glitter eyeshadow? Where were the Birkenstocks? Where were the polo shirts?
Where were the gauchos?
The Abercrombie and Fitch shirts. Abercrombie and Fitch.
Aeropostale?
What? Aeropostale.
Gauchos. Nobody had on the Letterman.
The silk business tops. The silk business tops that I used to get out of Charlotte Russe.
Wet slide. It was just terrible.
Seal.
And also
wet slide.
That's what it was in the movie. But also you wouldn't be on your cell phone at school because the cell phones were new. You would get them taken the fuck away. And you also wouldn't be staring at each other's iPods or Napsters or whatever. You wouldn't be staring at them because there was nothing to see really. Like, I didn't understand. They were like, oh my God, like there's nothing there.
Like, I wasn't in high school in 2003, but I was not far removed from high school. So everything that we were doing in college, they were doing in high school.
Yeah, it wasn't like, come on, this was like a year before Mean Girls. That's why I'm like, why didn't y'all just watch an old movie and see what they had on or what they were doing?
Why didn't they watch the OC? Why didn't they turn on episodes of Dawson's Creek? Like, the one thing that I do hate about movies when they go back in time, not everyone was hip. Some people literally just had on a t-shirt and jeans. Like, I just wish that they would just keep it like that. Not everybody. Because all this name brand stuff. Yes, not everybody was hip.
Put them boys in graphic tees, first of all.
Wait a minute. Where was the Old Navy?
Baby, because those commercials, if there was a commercial that you were going to watch, it was an Old Navy commercial. The production value.
You in the hood now, baby.
Like, Old Navy was, and I don't even wear Old Navy, but damn it, I saw those commercials.
Or even just a Gap shirt.
Like,
it was a Gap shirt. It's like, it was not.
You can always tell when people don't do research and they just be writing shit. Because the fact that they went to 2003 is crazy.
I feel like Gen Z wrote this. And honestly, I feel like they need to stick with the 90s. You know, there's like videos that always go around. It's like class of 2003, and it'll be like somebody that recorded their class and they put it like in a montage and posted online. They could have just looked at that for free.
Yeah.
Anywho, so she goes to see Mr. Fleming, and they're like, hey, who you is?
She like, she don't even give an answer. She don't even give an answer.
tell me about time travel. And he's like, well, time travel, is in all of us. We are all travelers of time. And she looked like, what the fuck you talking about, man?
And so Quinn say, fuck this old man. He on some shit. And so he's like, look, I know about time travel. I can help you out. And so they go on. She does end up seeing.
He says it's too, don't do it. It's too big of something to undertake. You could really mess some things up. And that's when I knew the killer was either Quinn or the teacher. In that moment.
I was questioning the teacher, but she does see Summer at school. And she wearing. I was pissed because she walking down the hallway. I'm like, I know they have to show that she's like a popular pretty girl, but just this walking down smiling, I was like, what's happening right now? Why are none of y'all in class? We don't have this. I went to high school. You do not have that much time between your next class and the next. Like,
did you see the girl with the braids and the beads and the braids? I saw her 4 times. She went this way in the hallway, and then she went this way in the hallway, and then she came over this way in the hallway. I said, baby, get out of here. Go to class. You done talk to everybody.
That budget was fierce. So we
garbage. No, because this was filmed during COVID though too. So they didn't want to have that many people.
Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense. So so she's in the hall and she meets, well, she doesn't meet, but she sees the friend group. So we see Brian, we see Val, we see
interracial
Ethan.
Couple number 1.
Yeah, Brian and Val. And okay.
Summer and Ethan, interracial couple number 2. Mm-hmm. The parents, interracial couple number 3.
So yeah, Summer and Ethan have recently broken up, and he wants to talk to her. But her friends are very protective of her. They're like, no, like stay away, Ethan. You know, she don't want to talk to you. They so Val takes her, and then Brian's like, chill out, give her some space. Let's go pick on a nerd. Here we go with this trope again.
Bro, they gotta release the beast.
So they grab Quinn, and they hold him like he's Casey, and they're about to go throw him in the river, and he can't swim, and he's literally telling them, I can't swim. This is literally Jason Voorhees' story. What are we doing right now? And then everybody following, and like, Lucy is like, what's going on? And she's like, oh yeah, they're about to go dump him. It's like a prank that the seniors do. And I'm just like,
the senior prank, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. So they
really
are lame.
Kill somebody.
That's why I'm like, there's never any
pull his pants down and run off. Like, come on.
Oh my god.
This is dangerous.
So they go out there and they're all just standing there because nobody, again, this trope is not real because ain't nobody gonna say nothing. Y'all just gonna be like, and so they're about to throw him in. He's like, I can't swim, I can't swim. Here come I was about to call her Maddie. Here come Lucy. She like, like let him get what you guys doing. He's like, look, it's just a prank. So she take Ethan and knock him on the ground because she's 40 feet tall. I'm sorry, but she was just towering. And it didn't help that she had those boots on either. And so she throw Ethan through the ground, and the teachers come and everybody scatters. And so her, and Ethan yes, her and Ethan develop what am I missing? Her and Ethan they develop a friendship.
Well, no, she's like using him. Hey, you good at physics. Come help me with this time machine. They're not friends quite yet.
Okay. Well, I don't know. They're, the trusting starts. He starts to trust her because, you saved me.
Mm-hmm. She tells him she's from the future, and he's like, what? She's like, look at my phone. And he's like, oh, this is a computer. It's like the jokes were there, but they weren't funny.
Maybe that's what it was, because he's like, oh my god.
He says something about, you didn't have to protect me, and she was like, well, if you came from my time, somebody would have taken a picture of you and posted it on Twitter. And he's like, what's that? And she's like, oh, never mind. Boo.
I feel like she would have, I don't know, maybe social media. She should have just said social media. She kept trying to say all these things.
MySpace,
the most realistic one was when she was listing them off, like, because she was trying to figure out when they would have went live. That was the most realistic one. Yeah. But he actually said, I don't need a girl to fight my battles for me. And that's when I've been like, oh, you misogynistic, I gotta go.
Right. We see Summer arguing with Emmy real quick. And Summer comes in and she's like, hey, Quinn, flips her hair. How are you? I'm so sorry that happened with Ethan. But you know what? You're so brave and bold. You got that Kim homework? He's like, yeah, I got it. I can get it in my house. I can bring it to you if you want. I go to, and it's like
Urkel.
Urkel. She says Laura. And Lucy and Summer finally meet, and she's like, hey Lucy, or she's like, hey, what's your name? And she's like, Lucy. She's like, that's my last name.
No, middle name.
Lucy. Yeah, Summer Lucy Field. What the hell? That name is atrocious.
Again, and that's why I'd be like, y'all be marrying these white men and just letting them take over. Because what? Because I'm like, what?
Summer Lucy Field.
I guarantee you her dad named it. Oh, that's my mom. That's my grandmother's. They just, So yeah, because anyway, but that made me mad too. Because I'm like, y'all literally didn't give this girl her own life. Because why the fuck would you name?
it was bad. I wouldn't have stayed with them either. But I mean, I would have just stayed in 2024, but I wanted to stay with them. Obviously, she couldn't. But anyway, so they go and pick up Quinn and Lucy go pick up the time machine. They get back and they see that so they come to the conclusion that the sonar bottle that needs to be filled with light is no longer filled with light. But it was full when she got there. Moving on. So then
maybe he used it again. Maybe he used it again, Tiffany. Because remember,
he reaches over for a king size Butterfinger.
And she's like, oh my God, this is my favorite. And I'm like, you're a fucking liar. You're a fucking liar. And he says,
oh, glad I got more. A convenience store. You know those buckets in the convenience store with 8 goddamn Butterfingers in there. I was like, nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger. Cool. I don't know anybody that likes Butterfingers. Like, I take the
well,
my
hold
uncle,
on.
One of my uncles.
Hold on.
My uncle.
Hold on, because for Halloween I did buy a bag of mini ones. I've been craving peanut butter lately, and so yes, I do. I don't.
You didn't go to the convenience store and take the plastic jug off the counter and say, Mac, I'll take this. And he says, okay, that'll be $38.50. No, you didn't do that.
Because I mean, Butterfingers are annoying because we all know they get stuck. It gets stuck all up in your damn teeth. So, but that just peanut butter. I've been craving it. So I did get some mini Butterfingers, not a whole damn bar. But I was like, is Butterfinger sponsoring this? That had to be one of their
Butterfingers was sponsoring that.
Okay.
Why else would it be there?
I don't know. Maybe
better. It would have been better. Well, they couldn't do it. It had to be something that's out right now, and that was out in 2000. Because I mean, it should have been $100,000. But you know what? They still probably make those. Do they still make whatchamacallits?
Is that what it's called? Whatchamacallits?
You don't remember the candy whatchamacallit?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
Girl, they still make Wonder Balls, so I'm sure they still remember Wonder Balls.
Well, it could have been something. Maybe they should have made it a Surge or something.
It should have been a Hershey's cookie and cream.
Where was the Fruitopia? What was the Fruitopia? Please. All right. So anyway, Quinn basically tells Summer, you shouldn't change the past. And Quinn is like, but what if it's something that needs to be done? What if somebody's going to get hurt? And Quinn is like, still, never, don't do it. I got to go to work. So
Suspect
they get in
one.
the car. They get in the car, they roll over, and Lucy's like, can you just take me home? And they pull up in front of Summer's house. He's like, oh my God, I didn't get the correlation. Oh, obviously, because you guys don't look anything alike. So he realizes that Summer and Lucy are sisters, and they rig it so he brings the wrong homework over. And he says, well, Lucy is very good in science, and she can help you do your homework. And because it's 2003, and I guess we were just very trusting in high school back then, Summer's like, all right, girl, come on in. She goes in, and the parents are there. So she's seeing her parents, how she's never seen them before. Mm-hmm. I just find it really hard to believe in 16 years they've never been happy. These parents are cooking up a storm in the kitchen. They got the serving plates ready. The dad came in from work, didn't even change first. He went in there. He was, shooking up the green beans. Everybody was ready to eat. And Summer's like, yeah. And Lucy's just like, there's even color in the house. Because where she lived, it's just gray. It looked like, TikTok interior design of 2024. Everything is just gray and beige and then dreary. And at that house, it's all beautiful and bright. Look like Joan house off of Girlfriends. Just how you want to be. I always wanted a Spanish style little house in California. I don't think it'll ever happen unless I build it myself.
It was
it's just a vast difference to where she, basically how she was raised. These aren't the same people, and they just haven't been the same people. And the mom even mentions, yeah, me and Summer cook every day, almost every day. And Lucy's like, damn, all I eat is fucking Taco Bell and DoorDash and shit. Like, I get no microwave meals. She just goes to Trader Joe's and gets that orange chicken and throws it in the skillet for me and say, in 10 minutes, come down and stir your sauce in. Like, the parents were terrible people.
Yes, because they're like so nice now, and like she's dealing with a lot of emotional stuff. Because she's just like, I don't know these people, like, and they're like, everyone's so happy, and
I feel like the best thing for the parents to have done instead of having another child is to just have moved.
Yeah,
they should have left that city. Sonar got to have another office somewhere.
I hate you so much.
So the girls are chatting after they eat dinner. They're chatting outside, talking about the parents are great. And they did mention that Summer's grades started to decline after she had a fallout with Emmy. So we're like, oh, is Emmy really smart and she was tutoring her? We'll find out later.
I know, because Summer feels like a fucking user. And so after
pretty privilege get you a far,
clearly. And after like they kind of connect emotionally, then she's like, "What are you wearing?" I thought that was like, I was like, "Damn, we just
her outfit totally fit in that year." And the only reason why I say that is because those Dark Martens were like really popular in the 2000s, and she just had on some jeans and a t-shirt.
Yeah, she wasn't even like, because I was trying to put her into a group in my head, but I'm like, because like
stoner.
There were no stoners at the school. There were no goth kids. Like, there was nothing. There were no Lincoln Park children at Oil. But like you said, everything was all
like Britney Spears.
Name brand
Britney
kids.
Spears in sync.
Yeah, so I just thought that was weird. So they go and do a makeover, and she basically wears. I didn't understand what the difference was besides.
I'm just a teenager.
Now that song that brought me back. I was like, no, they didn't.
I'm giving you background so you can talk.
Oh, I because I want to listen to it. Okay, go ahead.
Oh,
and so okay, give me my montage.
Too late now.
Give me my montage. And so they have this makeover, and they're just like loving it. And basically, she's just wearing the same kind of shirt that she had on with different bottoms, and they have the the like silvery glittery belts. What do you call those belts? What did y'all call those chain belt things?
Chain belt.
Oh wow. And like that's all that she had on that was different, and she's looking in the mirror like she's a totally different person, and I'm like,
the only thing that was different is this ugly ass shirt she got on, and this right here with the butterfly on. What was that?
I wasn't getting it, and because they still wear like these platform shoes, so I'm like, what was wrong with your Doc Martens?
Yeah, where were the slap of Steve Martin, not Steve Martin, Steve Madden. You know, the ones that I talked about before. Those.
Oh, I knew you were gonna say something. I knew
you
were
gonna shoes.
I knew you were gonna say something.
Should have been in here.
You wanted Delilah.
Told them
Delilah.
They needed to go to yahoo.com and order a Delia's clothing book. Oh man, I miss my childhood.
So after they're done with their makeover, Summer goes to the mirror, she grabs the picture.
Yeah, and she's like, oh shit, let me say this girlfriend. She picks up the picture.
And she starts talking to her, and she's like, hey, so tell me about them. And she's like, oh my God, they're my best friends. I know they're jerks, but I was like, I don't know.
You're complacent.
Yeah, I was like, they're not good people though. I was like, they're good to you currently. Mm-hmm. You're not done with high school yet. You don't know what the fuck gonna happen. But I don't know. It always strikes me. I hate the trope of like, oh, I'm a nice girl, but I'm friends with all these assholes, and I watch them do asshole
shit. You're
an
asshole too.
Yeah, and I just make excuses for them. Like
that's why keeping friends that don't align with you shouldn't align with you.
Because I just wasn't feeling it. I'm like, what, so you just okay?
I wasn't either. So she scoots over to the mall to try to save Val and Brian. And Val and Brian are
She's like, what about my homework?
She said later. Val and Brian are in wet slide, like you said earlier, and they
first of all,
they should be together.
I was just trying to figure out. Ain't she a redhead?
Oh wait, let me reverse. Oh no, we do see them in the clothing store. Val is trying on clothing, and Brian.
Even though it's 5 minutes before the mall closes.
Like, baby, just buy it and bring it back if you need to. We see our girl Lucy show up.
That wouldn't happen. We have both worked in the mall. That would not happen.
No, you're right. Get out. Come back tomorrow. The teacher, Mr. Fleming, is at the mall. I said, I'm watching you. And then we turn to the left, Ethan at the mall. I said, red herring. I'm not stupid. You think I'm stupid?
You like flips her off.
Does she knock his ass down?
Yeah. And she's just running around the mall. It's a huge ass fucking mall, mind you. It's like 3 stories. And she goes in the first.
Quinn. She sees Quinn at the.
I thought you said twin. Yeah, he works at the video store. I'm telling you, I know exactly where this fucking script came from. They watched a bunch of Scream shit because he works at the video store. I thought they fired his sorry ass, and I'm just like, so she's like, where have you seen Val and Brian? He's like, but they were just here. They rented a movie. They're at what slide? He's like 3rd floor. So yeah, she go up there. So this girl trying on this whole outfit while he just around talking to stuffed animals. I'm like, where did y'all get this black boy from? Like, it just wasn't realistic. What realistic would have happened is she would have went in there and he would have went and did something else. He would have probably still been at the video store, at the game shop, something. He would not have been there with her.
Foot Locker. FYE.
Oh, why did you say that? I hate that
they still have those in some
really
malls.
Oh, I thought we got rid of physical media. I used to, baby, that's how I got my DVD collection. So yeah, it was just unrealistic for him to still be there. And then where did the worker go?
She was there, and then she just said, look, y'all lock up.
Because the lights just go out in the mall. And he's like, hey, the lights went out, but she's not there. So who was he talking to?
I think she ran over to the pretzel place to get the pretzels before they started throwing them away for the end of the night. I don't know, but it doesn't matter because the killer comes up and opens up the DVD and breaks it in half and then stabs it into his jugular.
And he just kills him.
I mean, this was a big guy. Yeah. Okay. Then we go to get Val. Val is still. She comes out.
Did he hold him in place or did he just stand? Like, did he just sit there?
I watched the movie twice and I still can't remember.
Why'd you watch
That's a damn shame. That's a damn shame. Because it was on, but I started doing something while it was on, so I didn't take all my notes. So I had to come back and finish taking my notes. But yeah, so Val comes out and she sees the killer and she runs and she runs
sees that he's dead. Her boyfriend's dead.
She runs 10 feet and hides behind the counter.
She don't run out of the store that the doors are open to.
Wide open.
This happened in Fear Street. So I just she didn't even emote when she saw that her black boyfriend was dead again. I
mean, because he's not going to be a star football player anymore. What does she care? Time to start over.
So yeah, the killer in there. I don't understand how we're lost in here. The store is like 5 inches. You know how the mall looks. It ain't like, I mean, well, there are stores that are bigger. It's a small store for the mall. Thank you. That's what it reminded me of. Even the color scheme, like where the white and it looked like Claire's, but with clothes and dolls and shit. So
it was really interesting. I don't even know what that store was like because Wet Seal didn't look like that.
I don't know what they were going for because clearly they were thinking of Wet Seal, but maybe they couldn't. Maybe they don't know because it's not there anymore.
There's still Charlotte Rue.
Is Charlotte Rue still alive?
Yeah, they opened up a couple more stores, or they didn't close a couple stores. I saw whatever mall I was in not too long ago. I don't know where I was, but I saw one there. Anyway, Val runs out of the dressing room. I feel like we're just taking too much time on this. We got to speed this shit up because hell no. Val running about a dressing room. The killer tried to get her. She tried to hide. It didn't work. Our girl Lucy shows up and she pushes a clothing rack into the killer, and she's like, "Val, move your ass." Val runs out. They both run out to the escalator, which is now off because the mall said, hello, the mall, the Sweetly Valley Mall will be closing in 18 seconds. Get the fuck out of here. Take the stairs. They run down so they're running. Okay. She knocks over a display, and the killer in front of the killer. They run down the escalator, and when they get to the bottom of the escalator, the killer is there. I thought there was two killers.
Yeah. There's
no way it could have gotten there. Because
I was suspecting Quinn too much to not think that there was.
Right.
And so I didn't understand. So they start running back up, and Val don't get back up. I just was not.
They grabbed her by her long hair. I didn't understand, and I don't understand how Val died.
I don't either. But the killer grabs her by her hair and he slams her head into
Wait. When he goes to push her head into the escalator, why was the escalator on?
I thought that. I don't remember it being off. Anyway, so
they ran down it because it was. Oh, I thought it was off.
Okay, well, I think maybe the third floor one was off and the second floor one was.
Okay, whatever.
Anywho, so he slams her head into the escalator things, which we know those are very hard. So I mean, I get it if he slammed it repeatedly. And so she dies, and of course she's screaming for help. Here comes the security guard. The killer just stabs the security guard in the stomach one time and then just walks away. And Quinn and her are at the top of the escalator, like, oh! And the police arrive. Killer comes. I don't know why the police were there, or how they got. She
doesn't change the past because the security guard was not supposed to have died.
Right, and she feels all bad about that because it was only supposed to be.
But she doesn't feel too bad because she could have went back in time one more time and brought the mother tooth back.
Well, we don't know how many sonar tanks they. How many sonar tanks they had at a time with this antimatter. So, moving on along.
Yeah, the next day, Lucy goes back to Summer's house and tries to steal the dad's badge. Summer catches her, and she's like, hey, you ran over to the mall, and now my friends are dead. Bitch, I think.
How did she find out that fast? It was, she remember she said she was going to go early. It was
front page in the newspaper.
It was, she said she was going over at like 6 a.m. So she woke up before.
That's when the paper gets delivered. The word would have been going around town, baby. Y'all got cell phones? Because security.
Okay.
Police were already there. They would have known.
Okay, I just felt like that was quick.
She's like, Summer girl, I'm your sister. I'm from the future. Here, you're gonna get this note later today. Watch.
She did not tell her that.
She said, this somebody's going to give you this note, and I found it in your baseboard in the future. And Summer says, I've never seen this before in my life.
Yeah. And she just like leaves. I don't understand why she leaves without doing anything she came there for. I really didn't understand.
What I kept thinking to myself is, why didn't she pull out her cell phone? I know her cell phone has a photo of her mother or her dad in that. Mm-hmm. I know her cell phone might have a photo of Summer dead in the damn paper, of Summer's
or her
shrine,
memorial,
Summer's gravestone, something, a baby picture of Summer, since they look.
It doesn't really. Alike. It makes sense if you're writing a movie, but they didn't write this movie, so it didn't make sense because my thing is. Everyone this was one of those movies that you hate. Everyone just caught on. The no convincing. I'm from the future. Oh, okay. Like there was no questioning. She says she's from the future and they just believe it. Like they
felt the need to write this part. So Quinn leaves and she is working with, Quinn is now with Lucy and they're working on trying to fix the machine. And Lucy says, oh, I could just, look something up on the internet. They turn on the computer and the modem starts dialing up. She's like, oh my God, I think I broke it. I'm like, yes, you are currently living in 2024, which means you were born in 2007 or 2008. Mm-hmm. You are super smart. You want to go to NASA. Mm-hmm. You love working on computers. You would know the history of computers. Mm-hmm. You would know what a modem sounded like. What are we doing? Like it was supposed to be funny again, but it was not funny. Anyway, so
because they didn't write it. They didn't write it. The character is literally a science nerd.
Yeah, and she doesn't want to go back to. She tells him how she hates her life in 2024 because no one sees her. I'm sure it would suck having parents ignore you, but her life isn't that fucking bad.
It's not realistic to me because she looks the way she looks.
That too.
So even if your parents do, you not.
All she would be thinking about right now, honestly, would be college, and getting away and starting her life. But they make it so she don't have no friends either, except for Mr. Fleming and his fucking turtle, Mr. Pickles. So anyway, we see Summer in the locker room or something like that. I don't know what the hell that was. And she opens up her locker.
It's like they were doing boats. So is there like a paddle club?
Oh, a rowing club.
A rowing club?
Rowing.
Yeah.
Yes. So she opens up her locker and she finds the same exact note in there. The writing is same. She's like, oh my God, this girl really is from the future. So she comes over and she talks to Lucy and Quinn, and they eventually tell her that, yes, I'm from the future and I got here before the murders. And she's like, well, who else about to die? And they tell her that Emmy is about to die. So Summer is like, we saving Emmy. I don't know what y'all thought y'all was doing, but we saving Emmy. And they were like, we don't even know her. And she was like, I don't care. Y'all coming with me to save Emmy. So then you hear and they all walk out of song. They all walk out of the door with a crowbar, a candlestick, a lead pipe, and a rope. Because they're about to go down to the Marine Museum.
We're just gonna have to review Clue because I'm tired of this bullshit. We're just gonna have to review Clue.
That's one we got to do in person and save Lucy together. Because I'm gonna be saying all them. I know, I love it. I'm not save Lucy. I'm sorry. Go and save Emmy. So we see Emmy at the Marine Museum. She's locking up. She puts her 2003 fall mix in her CD player and pushes play. Chill out, what you waiting for? It's all been done before. It be you and see somebody else. And why'd you have to go and make things so complicated? I fucking hated that song in 2003.
Everybody
it's not
did.
Bad now.
Well, because again, we were children. Everybody would just sing the constipated part.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, why'd you have to go and make things so constipated? Yeah, it was like more of a. It was like one of those annoying things, but you would just make fun of it, like with the Friday song.
Weird Al Yankovic song.
Yeah.
7 a.m. waking up in the morning. Gotta get fresh. Gotta go downstairs. Gotta have cereal. Chilling in the front seat, kicking in the back seat. Was that 2003? I think that was later.
It might have been later. So she's listening to music while she's cleaning up the museum by herself. Okay.
I'm sorry. One more thing about that part. So she puts on the headphones and she's listening to the music, and they are calling the loudest ass house phone, but she can't hear it. We didn't have noise canceling headphones back then. She would have heard that phone ringing. She was ignoring it, and guess what? That's why she almost died.
So she's, cleaning up the museum by herself. I thought it was very odd, but I mean, maybe things were different back then. Cause I'm just like, I don't know, a young girl at the museum by herself.
I would have put some bleach in a spray bottle and just sprayed it around the room so it could smell like bleach in the morning and left.
Why does security not like patrol this museum? And what kind of museum is this where it's just a fucking boat? That was weird. I ain't like that.
It's a Marine Museum, but this was like,
we have one in Dallas. It ain't in no boat.
I was not scared of the killer. I was not scared. Like they split up and start searching, looking for Emmy. They got to go up at the top. They go to below deck. They got to go to the left, to the starboard side. Forward, the aft. I've been on a cruise before. I know a little thing or two.
When the ship docks, I'm getting off with you. So she they're looking for it's I don't know why they let Lucy go by her. I'm sorry, I don't know why they let Summer go by herself to look for her when they know Summer is one of the victims. Well, she knows Summer one of the victims. She didn't tell Summer yet.
Summer could die early.
Told Summer she's gonna like have a great husband and a job and all that stuff because she doesn't want to tell her she's dead yet. But it's just weird that they let her go by herself. And then Quinn and why do you want to call her Madison? Quinn and Lucy are getting scared at the shit that they should know is in the fucking museum because they've lived in this town their whole lives.
Yeah.
So, but here goes Summer. Hey! She's screaming like the killer can hear you too, dumbass. Don't go in there. So, she sees the killer and she like trying to warn her instead of running over to her. And she like screams through the window. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. So she screams through the window, but it's because Emmy drops the CD player. And so she has to like put the CD back in and restart it. And then she hears her and she's like, behind you. And the killer just happens to, he walking this whole movie. He ain't got no problem. And so, she dodges him. I don't know how. Like They're just like he's not very agile. He's not alert. He just gets lucky. So they close the door on him, and they take so long to lock the door.
But it's a glass door.
This felt like the faculty.
What are we doing?
This felt like the faculty.
This felt like a headache. And we need to speed this up. We taking too fucking long. I'm about to skip the rest of these scenes.
Stop. Okay, so of course, like she says, the glass door, but he breaks through, he chases them, but they all manage to climb down. This part pissed me off because they weren't alert. Like he's like, they were okay, you know, like you said, he was in front of them, he's behind them, but every time Quinn tells him to back up, it takes them forever to like turn around and start running. So they escape and they save Emmy's life. And so Quinn is like, hey, you gonna tell this bitch that she gonna die? She like, I'll tell the bitch. So that night, instead of telling the bitch, they go to Olive Garden again. And she like, hey, you gay? And she like,
baby, justice for Dolores. Baby, justice for Dolores. Justice for Dolores, baby. Thank you.
She like, oh, you gay? She like,
she could have at least been the manager. She's still serving. She's still asking, tell me when to stop what I rolled as cheese. Oh, I'm so mad.
So like, you gay? And she like, I'm a little gay.
Yeah, I'm gay.
You know, I'm a little gay. She like, well, look,
and this
I'm
is
just
the
trying
second. That's the other interracial relationship.
God. And so it's like just no black people fall in love with each other these days. And there weren't even any Asian people in this movie. So she's like, oh yeah, well, gay marriage is legal and a lot of people don't care, but they kind of care. I mean, I was like, girl, you're in 2024. Trump just stopped being president. But anyway.
2021.
Oh, well, so it would have been still yeah. Okay, so it would. But see, how are you gonna do a movie? So okay, I don't like that because that's a cop out. But yeah, so she was just trying to let her know, yeah, it's okay, you know. She was like, yeah, and so she tells her and Emmy were supposed to come out to their parents, and she backed out, which is why her and Emmy were fucking falling out. And yeah, so she's like, oh yeah, so it was Emmy who gave you the note. Nah, I thought Emmy was a cute name, but yeah, not Ethan. So yeah, and she still don't tell her that she gonna die. I just. They go to sleep. She wake up.
The next day, Lucy's trying to steal that damn badge, and the father comes in. He's like, "Hey, Lucy, what's up? And you want some breakfast?" And she go in there, and she's like, "No, guys, I'm not hungry. I really gotta head out. Let me just ask you something. Did you ever think about having any more kids?" And the parents say, "Hell no."
That was hilarious.
And that was heartbreaking. Because they was like, no, you know, we had a really tough time with Summer. I guess maybe she had like a tough birth or something like that. She's like, no, you know, we never really thought about having any other kids. And then she was like, I guess it'll be fine if I save Summer and let my ass die because, I mean, fuck.
That is not when she comes to that realization. She was not going to save Summer because she didn't want to die. Which, this plot hole, I would have just been like, Summer, I'm your sister. Make sure your parents have another kid. Get around birth control. There were so many ways.
Well, they said that they had to do IVF, so it didn't come naturally.
Oh, yes, she did. Oh,
yeah, okay. They did mention that, so I don't think that would work.
I don't think that. I'm like, I want a little sister. I'm gonna kill myself. You know, that would have worked in 2003. And
yeah, so she steals the ID badge from the dad, and here we go with our badge drama. You know, we always be fighting about badges. She steals the badge, and she heads over to Quinn's, and she notices that love letter that Quinn wrote Summer that we saw in the beginning of the movie, and it's like, Quinn,
I thought you were gay. So Quinn walk in and he like, hey, you told your sister? She was like, you ain't tell her what the fuck is wrong with you. He's like, you ain't tell me you was in love with her. I'm like, that wasn't the mic drop you thought it was, bitch. But she was deflecting like a motherfucker.
You couldn't tell how he was acting to give her that chemistry homework. Girl, bye. You're supposed to be smart. You got it in NASA.
That's obvious. And so they kind of like just go tit for tat. And she's like, well, look, he's like, I can't let her die. And she's like, well, look, I gotta live. I understood, like, it made so much sense, like her conflict, because it's like I deserve to live. Like, that's why I'm about to get mad because I'm starting to remember how this movie ends. So she goes by herself. And so she go by herself. Why is Sonar in a forest behind a gate? You know what it looked like? The Jurassic Park thing when she was.
Oh, I was thinking. This is what I was thinking. The place that they had all the Stranger Things monsters.
I want to quit this podcast because that's exactly what it looked like. If it's the same fucking set,
this is Netflix.
You know what?
It probably is.
Are they still doing layoffs? Let's just go, because I mean it's too easy to work there. So, and she gets freaked out because the guy in the hoodie is coming, and you know the killer wears a hoodie. But see, this got me because I was like, oh, so it's not Quinn. But yeah, it's Quinn, and he's like, hey, I came to help you, and she's like, cool. So they go and they realize the killer had already been there because one of the sonar tubes is gone, and the fucking security guard is dead. And she's like, why does the killer need antimatter?
The killer is an idiot because the killer should have took all of them. Yeah. Why the fuck would you only take one?
Because he's an idiot. And so she's like, oh, the killer is from the future. So they make this realization.
Future.
And they, damn it, why am I forgetting what happens next? Oh, wait. Lucy, because she has to tell Summer she's her sister, but I don't remember what happens after this.
She told Summer she's her sister.
Oh, duh. Summer comes back. No, Summer confront. Let me see. Let me read my notes because this movie was terrible. Like it was. She gets her dad's badge. Yeah. So she tells Summer the truth. Yeah. So she finally tells Summer the truth. Summer came over to confront them, and she's like, "Hey, look, I'm your sister. Da da da. But if I don't,
you about to die."
Yeah. And so they come up with this plan, but we don't know who knows what. And so again, they split up. Maybe this is what happened. We skipped that part where she told the truth, because while they're going to get the sonar thing, Summer's going to the party. That's what it was. So she arrives to the party with Ethan. And so she go over to the party, and this pisses me off too, because the minute they get there, What's Love is playing. And I'm like, What's Love? That's not when it was playing. And okay, whatever.
Yes, it was.
It was, yeah, but it wouldn't have been playing like she would. Okay, whatever.
It was playing when she got there.
Nope.
Okay, we're almost at the end. Keep it moving.
All right.
She goes in there. Yeah,
and they're making the toast, and she makes some weird. She's like, to the future. I'm like, girl, shut the fuck up. But then she sees Emmy there, so she gets off the stage and she goes and she kisses Emmy in front of all of these 2003 children, and no one says anything. No one calls her a dyke. No one says any slur.
The funniest thing was there's a girl in the background of her, and she was like,
I saw her. But I'm just like, I'm like, y'all were not that accepting. I know for a fact y'all were not that accepting of no damn lesbians. This was way before A Shot of Love with Tila Tequila. So I know y'all.
Emmy didn't even care about the people at the school knowing. She just wanted her parents to know.
Right.
So I don't even think she could have just went over there and said, Emmy, I'm going to tell them. I'm very, very sorry, but I'm going to tell them.
She doesn't do that. She just kisses her in front of all the students in class, and she's like, oh, damn, we're going to get gay bashed tomorrow, but don't forget that I love you. And so she runs outside, and she's waiting for the killer to show up, and then when he shows up, she's like, there you are, and she gives him this cat and mouse chase, but it's like she's doing a bunch of dumb shit. I'm like, are you trying to survive? Like, I didn't understand what her point was. What was she trying to do?
Kill me. Die.
Because I just couldn't understand. She went all around, and she confirmed that fucking door was not a blockade. But she goes inside the barn and was like, this is where I die. Killer, she left the door wide open too. And the killer walked in, he grabbed the scythe. She just closes her eyes. I was pissed. Because I didn't
hear no timer go off on her watch or anything to know, oh, they're coming. They're going to be here, in 1 second. Her phone didn't ring to
what
tell
was
her
the
to
plan?
jump.
What was the plan?
No.
But they somehow know she's in the barn. They know she's there.
Said, trust me.
And they ran, Ethan runs into the barn, knocks the killer out. And they're like, get in. And I just couldn't it just made no sense. I was like, what was the plan? Because there seemed to be no plan. Because if I wanted to survive, I would have stayed my ass in where everybody else was.
Exactly. But I think that they needed to kill the killer because they felt like the killer would come back and try to kill him later.
Well, they didn't kill the killer.
But that's what I was thinking about Emmy. I thought that just dropping Emmy off at home, I thought she was still going to die. Yeah. Because I thought the killer was going to come get her.
Nobody wrote this movie. No, AI wrote this movie. So
that's what it says.
So the killer starts, they're all in the car. The killer starts getting up and the mask is frayed. And they realize, the killer is Ethan from the future.
It's Ethan with a crater face because he does not look 20 years older. I think maybe 2010 Ethan came back. As soon as Obama came president, he said, "Oh hell no," and he came back.
And
2009 Ethan.
So, I didn't. Yeah, and so they just drive off, and he's like, "Oh my god, it's me! Oh my god, it's me! Oh my god, he knows where I live!" And I'm like, "But how is he gonna get to your house before you?" He was just freaking out.
Wait, let me go back. I just realized. So when the killer is about to kill her, and the car comes in and hits him, and then the killer stands up, we notice that the killer is now 5 inches shorter and 30 pounds lighter.
The killer was extremely tall. Maybe he had a growth spurt.
They pulled a Brenda. Like, don't play with me.
A Brenda.
Urban legend. Don't play with me.
He is a very short actor. Like, noticeably. He's like always plays. He
yes,
always plays.
That's what I'm saying.
The scrawny, because he's a tiny guy. And it's just like the killer was always like, that's why the killer looked like Ethan.
Why wouldn't the car go forward? Why wouldn't the car go forward? Why wouldn't the car go forward? Summer said, "Fuck it, put it in reverse, Terry." And they drive over to Quinn's house, and Lucy's like, "I got a plan. We need to get." She's like, "Well, the time machine's there." She's like, "Yeah, I got a plan, bitch." He fucked with somebody else from the future. They get over there, and he comes in. Quinn number 2 comes in, and we get his dialogue. So basically, the reason why he did this is after the river happened, they threw him in the river. He survived, and Summer laughed at him. They're all gonna laugh at you. And she then made things worse. And I'm thinking, what did she do? Oh, she didn't want to date him. Because she's a fucking lesbian.
That's why it pissed me off. And they never gave him that. Like, they never said that. And that's what that's how I know somebody.
They should have made her a mean girl.
Yeah, because this is some incel shit though. Like, you wouldn't date me, so now I knew I had to come back and kill all y'all. And it's like, she did not date. I mean, granted, she did use the fuck out of you. I will give him that. Because even she told like Lucy at the beginning, we've been friends for forever. You literally don't even hang out with him unless you need homework from him. Mm-hmm. So he's not your friend.
Her pay him.
Yeah, that would have been more realistic. But this was some incel like red pill shit, because it's not like she's not dating you because you're a geek or you're a nerd. She genuinely does not want your penis. She broke up with Ethan for the exact same reason, and he's the popular guy. So it had nothing to do with you. She don't like you, but I wanted her to say like, I'm in love with Emmy or something, just to.
But here's the thing: the killings didn't even happen in 2003. He woke up one day in the future and said, "You know what? I'm gonna go back and kill that bitch."
Yeah.
And went back. Why didn't he go back in the future and kick Ethan's ass before Ethan could have thrown him into the river?
Yeah.
He goes back and kills her and all of her friends, still not killing Ethan.
Yeah, that's what was. I'm like, that's the, like, really? Ethan got Ethan got no repercussions in this movie. Like,
because he killed her, he ended up creating Lucy.
Yeah.
But why would he think it would have been smart to put the time machine in the barn and not in his garage, period? And Lucy could have never found it.
Now that part. So he's about to kill them all. Quinn is trying to protect him. He's like, "Hey, if I kill myself, you'll die." He's like, "That's not how time travel works." And I'm like, "Well, how the fuck does time travel work?" Because that makes perfect sense to me. This movie just had no writers. And so she puts the sonar in, and she's like, the whole time they're talking, she's just been waiting for it to charge, which of course it charges at the perfect time. And then she sends them back into the future, and she tells, Quinn, take Summer out of here, and they both go into the future. And then they're in a fucking parking lot. I don't know how the location changes, but whatever. They're in a parking lot.
Because basically, if she didn't die, then the town didn't go to shit. So those 2 kids that died earlier, who cares? Only if Summer and Emmy died do the town go to shit. Mm-hmm. And the security guard, fuck him. He probably had a family, but we don't give a shit about him either. Those 3, irrelevant. But if the other 2 die, problems. That's why.
Right. So, because all of them cars look nice. So yeah, they're in the parking lot. They're going through scuffles. She grabs an electric charger because they had to show you that they're in the future, and swinging it at him. And then he knocks her to the ground. He's about to stab her, and she just manages to get it right there with the knife, and he gets shocked. And she goes to his lifeless corpse, but he's not dead yet. So he's like grabbing her, and she takes his knife and she stabs him and kills him. And then she takes the sonar bottle, goes back in time, And she's like, I'm here to stay. I'm here to stay. I went home and my parents didn't know who I was. So that means they never had me. So I'm just going to stay in the past with no social security card or driver's license. But I'm still going to apply to this NASA internship in 2003 with no identification. Where did I come from? Where are my parents? I'm just going to stay at Summer's house and have dinner with her. And then she gives this raggedy ass monologue at the end. Oh, you know, your future. I was always worried about it, but my future is my sister's past, and we'll be the same age and grow up together. Summer comes out.
Her sister is now a out lesbian. She wears her curls.
That pissed me off. I was like, oh, so she get to be black now? Y'all gonna stop having her flat? This black girl putting all this heat damage on her hair. Oh, so now she get curls. I was like, get the fuck out of my face. I didn't like that. These interracial relationships, and this is why it's always a horror movie.
Oh, and then Quinn hooks up with Lucy.
Oh, is that what happened?
Sure. Interracial relationship number 5.
That did not happen in the movie, y'all. This movie was terrible. And I hate to say that because I do like the lead actresses, but they gave them a shit script. This was terrible.
Yeah, they did what they could.
There were so many plot holes, like it just
didn't make sense.
It made no sense. Because again, like I said, Ethan was just a character who was there to be a red herring. We never see him get a comeuppance. We never see them like he never gets beat up. Like Ethan's just there to be there. I like the teacher is there to be there. We only see him twice.
This really feels like a first draft.
Yeah. Like, but I see why it was left on the cutting room floor. And now I get why but I don't know why they put it out then. Maybe they just wanted to not, I don't know.
I think they just needed a horror movie for, something horrible, which is what it is.
Yeah.
That will do
it's number 1 on Netflix though. So
I was about to call it 2003's time cut. That'll do it for 2024's time cut. I give it 4 interracial relationships out of 10.
I give it 3.5 interracial relationships out of 10, even though it did have black people. I don't know. I just, well, they did have one fully black person. It just, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, the guy, Brian.
Yeah, this agenda is just so fucking weird. And they need to start, I'm tired of them putting people in shit just because they're notable. Get people with fucking chemistry. Like this was, none of these people had chemistry. They just didn't.
None.
What are we doing right now? Like, it was just bad. No, don't watch it. Unless you just want something in the background. But it wasn't even a horror movie. It was like
I was not scared.
It was like a drama. At all. There were more emotional moments than anything. And like I said, the killer's motive was so incel, so Andrew Tate. Why don't they love me? Yeah, no.
Boo! Tomato. Well, guys, hopefully you still enjoyed us. But we will be back next week to review 2022. One of those, Totally Killer, which is on Prime, which is one that I did enjoy, Mamacita. Did you watch it yet?
Yeah, I've already watched it. Period.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Mamacita. Well, we will see you then. Netflix, do better.
Please.
Stop paying for, what's his name? Chris Hemsworth movies. And do better. He's an attractive man, but damn.
He does have a lot of movies on Netflix. I just realized.
Babe. Alrighty. Bye, guys.
Where did you hide it, Dan?